Yo, it's Chronic. Have you ever been curious and wanted to be handed a few random facts, some of which are totally useless about Blackout Revival? No? Well, here you are anyways, watching this video, and
You don't really have a choice?
Anyway, I won't waste any of your time today. Just go straight to it. Number 1. Did you know there are actually secret cargo containers inside the capturable metro zone? Simply approach a broker and pay $3,000 up front to cut the power and cause a blackout. Then, head down the stairs to the metro zone and keep straight. On both your right and left sides towards the exit, there will be 2 opened gates containing 1 loot container. The quality of the loot is somewhat similar to that of the containers you can find during the faction-based raid tasks. While this does seem very obvious, as it seems like something you could just stumble across, very few people I've spoken to seem to know about it. And the reason could likely be due to the fact that blackouts are super heavily underutilized, as they don't really do much as of the current state of the game. But here's one thing they do, and they are worth looting if you want to stop by. Number 2. I'm sure most of you are familiar with the loot star rating of a server, determined by population. For those of you that aren't, here's a rundown. The loot quality or star rating of a server is determined by its population. The fewer the players, the less quality of loot, and lower star rating. This, in turn, decreases the drop chance for valuable items and vice versa. This includes keycards, which are vitally important to the game. However, did you know the only keycard and pretty much only item unaffected by this are red keycards? This is likely because they're already so rare that decreasing the odds is hardly needed. Number 3. For number 3, keeping on the topic of keycards, blue keycards actually used to be more rare than red keycards. This, of course, now many know, is the complete opposite. However, a while back it was not the case. I did some digging through the patch notes and update logs, but ultimately was not able to pinpoint exactly when this change was implemented, though it's likely it was pretty early on in the game's release. Number 4. With the exception of the Photon Blades, Photon Accelerator, and RPG-18, the Spear is the only weapon in the game with an attack that has 100% armor penetration. This functionally makes it the only non-contraband item with the ability to completely ignore common armors. This, of course, is ineffective on armor sets like Operator, which have penetration resistance. But the common everyday armors, the tactical set, are pretty weak to it, and it could start to be pretty useful against some people. Number 5. In an update in June, snowballs were added to the game. For a short time, snowballs actually counted towards the Utility Specialist challenge, where players are tasked with simply using utility items, though this was fixed only 11 days later. And best believe this made that challenge a lot easier, as having to walk over to a broker and blow like 5 or 6k on throwables just to complete the goddamn challenge is really fucking annoying. Number 6. At a random point before the Roaring Skies update, fire hydrants were added, scattered around the map without any attention being called to them. It was only until a few days later that they were given a purpose and now currently serve as boosters. It is also interesting to note the patch notes state the water is very contaminated, which, if you've seen my lore video, you'll know my theory on how the district is likely quarantined due to an infection, and maybe the water source is, a part of it. Number 7. The creator of Blackout Revival, Silver, is apparently a huge fan of Metro Exodus, and as such, many things from the game could be inspired by Metro. The OG version of Blackout actually used the Last Light menu soundtrack as its own theme, different from the one we know today. I will play first the Last Light menu theme, and then play the Blackout theme we know today after. Number 8. It takes approximately 6 proximity mines to take out a player wearing operator armor. This was tested, however, the footage I used to record it ended up getting corrupted, and number 1, I really don't feel like doing it again, and number 2, that's a waste of a perfectly good operator set. So, you're just gonna have to take my word for it, or test yourself, because I'm not doing it again, I'm sorry. Number 9. The blast radius of the Skyfall tag is within the area of 225 to 250, meaning if it's thrown directly at your feet, there's basically no way of outrunning it without the use of speed boosting items or attacks. If it's thrown at your feet and you don't have, no, let's say an energy drink, a melee that makes you move faster with a lunge attack, your fist not included because it's not going to help you out that much, and fuck, anything else, you're chopped. Just start praying to whatever god you believe in because you're cooked. Number 10. Inertia is a physics-based mechanic present in Blackout. It is functionally momentum, creating a slight delay before stopping after holding your movement keys. It also creates a small time frame where players need to accelerate before walking or running. At the time of recording, for whatever reason, this mechanic is not present within the tutorial despite having received almost all other updated mechanics or changes to pre-existing mechanics following the release of the tutorial. It could have been something they simply overlooked and didn't think about, or they were just simply too lazy to implement it into the tutorial, which I don't really blame them for. Number 11. Players wearing no armor can actually survive a shot from a photon accelerator. Kinda. If you shoot an unarmored player in the arm or leg with an accelerator, they will be knocked and survive with roughly a quarter of their downed HP. So while there's a good chance you're not surviving after that, technically you can tank the shot. No, I'm not getting footage to show this because one, I don't currently have a photon accelerator, nor am I going to grind for one just for that because, look bro, that's a lot of work. And two, bold of you to assume I have the friends to test it with, okay? Maybe the operator armor test was just schizophrenia. It's not, I'm not doing it. I'm sorry. Those were the only 11 facts I have for today, as I won't lie, there isn't too much unknown about this game or random little trivia here and there, at least to my knowledge. I'm sure the developers have tons, but to my knowledge, I looked everywhere. I looked through the Discord, the wiki, whatever I could find. There wasn't all that much, but that's just what I got for today. So hope you enjoyed. If you didn't, feel free to tell me I suck. It's fine. If you did, like and subscribe. I'd appreciate it very much. And you'd be aiding to feed the various children. Navi, can you that's my phone. That's my phone. My text tone? Yeah. You'd be aiding to feed the various children locked inside my basement that you may or may not hear periodically throughout this video, screaming for help and telling me their parents are coming for them. But boy, are they lying because they don't know I killed their parents. Anyway, in all seriousness, hope you enjoyed. That's all I have for you today. Thank you for your time. Goodbye. Psych! I lied! Quick disclaimer before we end off. Most of these I did try pretty well to confirm are actually true. However, if you know any of these are simply incorrect or complete lies, do tell me and embarrass me for it because I tried to do the proper research, but I'm very confident. I'm very sure it's possible there's some things I missed or things I misinterpreted or possibly some straight up fucking lies I just believed. So if that's the case and you know it to be true, just comment it and I'll pin it because, But for the most part, I'm sure most of these are true, but thank you for watching. I appreciate it greatly. And yeah, goodbye.